Well, welcome again to, of course, our Spice Ale 1010 Dream 11 competition here today. And we can, in fact, say it's a really wonderful day. And, of course, we've got our drone shot that gives you a good view really of the St. George's Harbour. We've got one of the cruise liners inside, and you're getting a very lovely panoramic view. It's an ideal, wonderful day for such a drone shot. Terry, Kerry, you can't want it much better than that. And it comes right now to the National Stadium, where we get a great panoramic aerial view of a wonderful stadium with tremendous potential. And of course, today is going to house the first match, of course, where the Nutmeg Warriors, they in fact had victory yesterday, so they will try to make that a second one today. But it is a lovely day here at the National Stadium, as we can tell you. And a little later on, of course, in the broadcast, we'll be able to bring up for you the pitch review, and so that we can have a fair idea as to what sort of pitch conditions we'll have for this particular encounter this morning, which would start at about 11:45 thereabout. And looking at the ground itself, it looks rather lush green. Don't forget that we are in the middle of the dry season, so to speak, although quite admittedly we did not have a harsh dry season this year. We've had quite a bit of intermittent rain falling throughout Grenada, maybe with the exception of the southern part that looks rather parched and rather dry. But you've got to also remember that down the south is rather rocky indeed. Kerry, it's a resplendent, ethereal, lovely, glorious day. Picture perfect for cricket.
Pastor, I don't think you can ask for any better conditions. You know, everything is lined up so perfectly for this, the second day of the Dream 11 Spice T10 tournament. You know, looking over the outer harbour, the inner harbour, the capital, St. George City, coming into the National Stadium. You can see everything is just quite still and calm. You know, there's just some lazy clouds about, but no, there is not even a hint of rain in them. And then there is this nice gentle breeze blowing across the ground, which really sets the tone for what should be a beautiful day down here at the National Stadium. So if you're home, if you're in Grenada and you're home and you want to come down to the National Stadium, why not? Because we have two matches. You can come down here, relax at the National Stadium, take in the atmosphere, see the players up close, and engage in the festivities. It is really wonderful. And whether you're joining us across the Caribbean, across the globe, wherever you're listening or viewing us from this morning, we just want to say welcome to the broadcast, and we hope that you'll be entertained today. Two exciting matches, and as I said, Pastor Wom, it's Bayleaf Blasters versus Nutmeg Warriors, two of the teams that would have won their opening encounters yesterday, so it should be a really good one. And I think that's the point or cue for us to go to the toss to see what happened, or hear what happened earlier on between the two captains in the middle. It's toss time in match number 3 of the Dream 11 Spice T10 Tournament Season 2. It is a cracker of a match. It promises to be one. The two teams that won the opening match yesterday, they face off in the third match. We speak about Nutmeg Warriors and Bayleaf Blasters. We have with us here at the toss the match referee, Mr. Carl Felix, with our two captains, the home captain for today's match, Devon Smith, and the away captain, Andrew Fletcher. Mr. Match referee, over to you.
Gentlemen, this is the corner you're going to use. This is tail, this is head, home captain, with spin. Head.
The call is ahead, and it is ahead for the third time in a row. Nutmeg Warriors, Andrew Fletcher, if you want to toss, first of all, congratulations to you guys. Off to a winning start yesterday. Must feel good to get the first one in the bag.
Of course, you know, it's a good way to start. We don't want to dwell too much on it. It's already gone. I'm grateful for it. I just have to focus on today's game.
Must have been quite proud with the effort from your guys in the field yesterday. Would have done quite a good job. Would you say so?
Yeah, for sure. You know, fielding can win you games, and we saw yesterday the run it with Qatar kind of turned the game around. So, as I always mention to the guys, we have to take our fielding as serious as possible. But you know, I'm hoping that we step it up again today in all three aspects and come out with another win.
All right, I don't think I'm sure I'd ask you, but what's the decision of the Nutmeg Warriors?
The decision is to bowl first, send them in, try to restrict them as low as possible, and chase it down.
We see Bayleaf Blasters, they won yesterday. A newly revamped team, quite a few experienced players coming in. Hodge, Robinson, the bowling look quite stronger also this year. Yeah, looking forward to seeing them, battling them this morning.
Yeah, it's T10 cricket. As I always mention, there isn't any warm-up balls, and batters have to be ready. So it's a good quality team. We don't want to take them for granted, but we have to focus on our strength. And once we execute as well as possible, for sure, we can. I don't see anything beating us.
All right, well, Andre, all the best for this match and the rest of the tournament.
All right, thank you.
Devon, you won the toss yesterday, lost today, being asked to bat first. What do you think might be a good total you guys can set on this track?
Well, yeah, anything about 110, 120 would be a good total. Knowing the caliber of players they have, especially Fletcher, if he get going early, he can lick up the runs and put pressure on us. So we're looking to bat and bat properly and see if we can get a decent total on the board.
Well, I wouldn't say yesterday you were not really tested much with the bat. You had a modest 76 to score, which you did, but the bowlers, you must really feel proud of the effort of your new look bowling attack yesterday.
Yeah. In this tournament, I said once we bowl properly, you will win matches. I'm not worried about the batting. The batting will take care of itself, but at least, once you bowl properly and bowl team under 100, you give yourself a big chance to go there and win.
All right, winning yesterday, coming up against this big match this morning. What's the mood like in your camp?
The guys feeling pumped up. We are ready, set and ready for this game. It's a T10 game. It can go anywhere. But at least, if you do the three things right, batting, bowling, and fielding, you give us a chance.
All right, well, Devon, congrats. We want to wish you guys all the best today and the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was the captains. Just to recap it, the news from the middle. Nutmeg Warriors have won the toss and they've asked Bayleaf Blasters to bat.
And that's right. So the Nutmeg Warriors, they've won the toss and they've decided to field. We should let you know that the umpires are going up. We will give you the lineup shortly. But I can tell you that they're fielding an unchanged team. That's the Nutmeg Warriors. I'm going to give you Nutmeg Warriors team. And of course, Kerry is going to give you the lineup of the Bayleaf Blasters. So it's going to be some war here and there'll be some blasting involved. Andre Fletcher, of course, leads the team as usual with the number 72 jockeying on his back, Akeem Alexis. Weevil Benjamin, who played a flashy innings yesterday, will want to repeat that. Kieran Kotoy, of course, always jubilant and full of energy in the field. Had a wonderful run out yesterday. So he's on. Daryl Cyrus, the leg spinner. Ashton Jackson, Sheldon Joseph, Donald McDonald, my favorite name, that is Keyshawn Mitchell, Alexis Moses, Shondell Regis. So that's the lineup, of course, for the Nutmeg Warriors. So let's go to Kerry, who's going to give us the Bayleaf Blasters lineup.
Yeah, similar to the Nutmeg Warriors, Bayleaf Blasters, they also have an unchanged 11 today, led by Devon Smith, number 28, Amical Dubiset, the Seamer, number 10, Caden Felix, number 7, Kavim Hodge, who had an excellent game, the player of the match in match 1. He, number 5, Devonnie Smith, number 80, Sherman Lewis, 83, Nilon Pascal, number 11, Jelani Robinson, number 45, Richard Rogers, 55, Dennis Smith, 77, and Nkosi Sentile, number 23. As we see Pastor Warm, two strong teams, and we should expect top performances from those two units.
Yes, I think for the good of the game and for fellowship, you would need to have a competitive match. You just don't really want to see one-sidedness when you come to T20. I think the whole idea of the game being fast and furious, added to that, it makes it even more dramatic when teams can have narrow defeats or victory, as the case may be. And let's hope that this one is not going to be one-sided. I would love to see a narrow thriller.
Yes, as the players, they're out there. The match officials for this match, Roger Davis, he is in standing umpire. With him is Sean Manwaring. As the two teams, they're waiting to go. The opening batsman for the Bayleaf Blasters, it looks like to be the same pair from yesterday. That would be Jelani Robinson and Kavim Hodge, two players who knows each other quite familiar with each other because both of them are from the island of Dominica. So Dominica is represented strongly here in the Bayleaf Blasters lineup. And if the Dominicans would also want to claim Devon Smith because he's also married, he's married to a Dominican. So the Dominicans will be telling that they have three nationals in the Bayleaf Blasters lineup.
Yeah, so in terms of overseas players, 4 Dominicans, we've got 3 St. Lucians, and we've got some Vincentians, 6 of them. That augurs good
Yeah.
for the game. So here's the first ball as Jackson moves in to bowl to Robinson, gets a beauty outside the off stump, shapes away, and the ball not quite getting to the keeper. So dot ball. Should be an interesting game this year. Just a slip in. The third man is inside the circle, and there is a cover, conventional extra cover, just about 10 yards inside the circle. Obviously saving that cheeky single, and mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and the fine leg also inside the circle and the deep backward square. Here he is once more. Jackson in and bowls to Robinson. Robinson just plays a lazy shot at that outside the off stump with no great conviction at all as the ball goes into the glove of the keeper. So 2 dot deliveries so far. We did say early on in our opening statements how wonderful the conditions are here at the National Cricket Stadium. It's quite lovely, beautiful, sunlit day and has all the ingredients for a good match. Jackson is going to bowl once more to Robinson, who is off the back foot, hits that in the air. That's going down to third man. Will the catch be taken? Oh no, he's dropped it. And they will go for the single. Well, the truth is, Kerry, he got there, got both hands to it, and it was just a matter of holding it. He was looking to pull that, but he didn't get inside the line. And that went very high into the air. And a third man was into play. He came off the boundary. Now let's look at it. He got there. It was the shout of catch it, got there. It would have been a very good catch. And floated in the end.
Yeah, I think 2 past Storm, he probably would have reacted a touch a bit late too, because he probably would have lost it, and his slow reaction would have meant that he was not able to get under it.
Jackson to Hodge comes forward and dabs the ball out to cover, gets a single.
Yes, a good start so far from Jackson. You could have seen there was an effort to keep the ball a bit short to Robinson, who went after that previous delivery there. A bit of extra bounce there from the speedster from Bayleaf Blasters, and he'll be encouraged with the early assistance he's getting from the wicket.
Yeah, Cyrus Jackson again. He's in now to bowl to Robinson down the leg side, and good diving take. That was screaming down the leg side. Gosh, you had missed that. With the fine leg up, that would have gone screaming to the boundary for 4. It's 3 without loss. White signal by the umpire. So you can look at the cordon there in the offside, on the offside, walking with the bowler in all alert as Jackson is in once more and bowls outside the off stump. No ball signal by the umpire, and that's going to go over the boundary line, and that's going to go over the boundary line for byes. Well, everything went wrong about that. Absolutely everything. Wayward outside the off stump. The keeper wasn't able to cut it off. Went down to the boundary, and third man, which was on a little on the wide side, came across covering about 20 yards to his left. Wasn't able to cut it off, so it went over the boundary line for 4, and then we've got a free hit here. That compounds it, compounds the situation. Oh, nobody wants that to happen.
Yeah, as Jackson, even in our other local tournaments, he has the habit, of overstepping ever so often. And the T10 is a cardinal sin to bowl and no ball.
He's there now and bowls, and there's a big heave-ho that goes over the backward square area. They've gone for 1, backward point rather. We'll come back for the second. The return comes in, and they get 2. So 2 more runs off a free hit. And to remind you, of course, the field cannot be changed for the free hit, has to remain as it was in the previous ball. Total has now gone to 10 without loss. So Robinson is on 3, Hodge there at the non-strikers, and so it's a pretty good over, productive over so far, and there's still 1 more delivery to go.
Yeah, he'll be looking to finish strong there. Transgressed there, got the keeper ball when shooter for 5 buys. So we'll be seeing if he can finish strong. Bowling to Robinson. Good delivery there, Pastor.
Outside the off stump, left alone. And that completes the over. So the end of a very dramatic over, the very first one there, which saw a free hit. And of course, you had 4 buys and 10 runs coming off the first over. They must be very happy with that. Bayleaf Blasters, after one, they're 10 without loss.
Yeah, good start there. 10 runs on over. They didn't have to take much risk. They were aided by a bit extras. They contributing to 6 of the 10 runs there. Robinson looking to go after the ball in a bit. Hodge, who just faced one delivery in the previous over, is now on strike, facing up to the leg spinner. And Pastor, not very often you would see a leg spinner opening the bowling in any form of cricket.
You've got to be a good bowler to opening it, especially in 10-10 or this, the shorter version. And he's no doubt a confident player, Darrell Cyrus. That's the thing about him. He is confident. He bowled well yesterday, picked up 2 wickets. Let's see whether he can repeat that today. Comes in now and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is looking to hit that maybe slap it back past the bowler. Didn't cue it all that well. Dot ball as he goes back. Third man, sweeper right back on the cover boundary. Extra cover on the mid-off. Mid-on, mid-wicket. And there's a forward square leg and a man down at the fine leg area outside the off stump, makes room, cuts it down to backward point, gets a single. So Hodge is off the mark. He's gone to 1. He's gone to 2, beg your pardon, and the total has gone to 11 without loss.
Yes, and see quite a bit of protection in that area of the field there where the ball went previously. You see a shot third man, gully, backward point. Quite a heavy bit of protection.
Cyrus is in now and bowls, and
Bowled
Robinson
him.
is bowled. Well, he was looking to drive that. Maybe inside out. Never got to the pitch of the ball. And it just seemed to have gone straight on. You're not going to get any great sense of turn. Now, let's look at this on the replay. They've lost their first wicket. That one was given pretty decent flight. And driving, it was the googly, wasn't it? It was the googly. You've got to be a confident bowler, really, to be bowling. He probably was looking for the leg spinner, conventional leg spinner, came into him, beaten and bowled all over the place. So Robinson goes, bowled there by Cyrus. He is gone for 3, and Bayleaf Blasters, they're 11 for 1.
Yeah, very good delivery there, and I know Cyrus will be feeling quite happy with that dismissal, knowing that he has put in some work in recent times with that googly. As you can see, pitch and came back into the right-handed batsman and losing the dangerous Jelani Robinson quite early. It's a big blow for Bayleaf Blasters, which brings to the crease a man who has seen it all and who has played it all, Devon Smith. The third Grenadian to play Test cricket for the West Indies, leading the charge of the Bayleaf Blasters in this tournament, is now decreasing position number 3.
And of course, the leading run getter in the history of regional cricket, Devon Smith.
Yes, for his exploits, even a stand here at the National Stadium is named in his honor. So he has accomplished a lot, and he certainly has a lot to offer to the youngsters in this tournament.
Deservedly too. So here is Cyrus with a little hop and a skip. He's in now and bowls to Smith, who comes forward and drives the ball quickly out to long on. We'll come back for the second no. They decide against it. And it looks very much as though Hodge wanted the second run. Devon Smith was not interested at all.
I think what Devon Smith, those 41-year-old legs of him, is saying, you're Hodge, I know you have a lot of exuberance, a lot of energy, but this is only 1 run for me today.
You're right. The former days, he would have turned that into 2. But here once more is Cyrus. He's going to move in now to bowl to Hodge. He's there now and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is looking to hit that inside out and doesn't really make the kind of contact. I think it took more the bottom edge.
Yes.
Lost his shape too. And got to remember, the players got to remember, who they are. I think Hodge is a touch player. Doesn't have to do anything uncharacteristic or out of character at all. Here once more is Cyrus in now and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is looking to sweep down the leg side. And might have gotten, maybe touched the pad or something, part of his
Yeah.
paraphernalia, and of course not a wide signal by the umpire. The over comes to an end. A good over there by Cyrus. He's picked up a very important wicket, that of Robinson, who he had comprehensively beaten and bowled by a googly, and the Bayleaf Blasters, they're 12 for 1.
Yeah, excellent over there from Daryl Cyrus. A brave decision. I think he also would have opened yesterday, and today just conceding 2 runs. As you can see, the intentions from the opening batsman were to go after him to probably knock him off his line, but he was able to hold his calm and his cool and composure. He was responsible for sending Robinson back into the hut for 3 and just conceding 2 runs. Excellent over there. As we see, it's going to be a new bowler with number 66
Moses.
on his back. That would be Moses, Alex Moses, one of the youngsters from Carriacou, who is participating in the tournament. Moses would have played a lot of cricket so far for the year, both a T10 tournament and a ongoing T20 tournament in Carriacou. So he'll be feeling a bit sharp and would want to come here on the national stage and make a name for himself.
So Devon Smith, always meticulous. It's always been that sort of player that paid attention to fine details, and that's good. And well, Andre Fletcher is making sure he's got every player where he wants them. That's so very important. Moses moves in now to bowl to Smith, and Smith is pulling that in the air to the right of Fletcher, to the left of Fletcher rather, and he gets a single. So he's now gone on to 2. Just seemed to be a little late on that, Kerry.
Yes, I think the ball came onto him a bit faster than he expected. We'd have noticed yesterday past that the ball tends to skid on a bit, and I'm not too sure if that would have been the reason in that over, but the fast bowlers, once they bend their back and put it into the pitch, a ball that hard length, they offer a little bit of difficulty to the batsman.
Moses is in once more. This time to bowl to Hodge. He's there now and bowls outside the off stump, off the back foot. Cuts well. Good diving stop there at extra cover.
Yes.
Knocks it down. Did cover ground rather quickly.
Yeah, and he can.
That's Akeem, is he?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
Akeem
that's
Alexis. Yesterday we were talking about him in his bright, fluorescent green shoes, and we can see the skipper, Andre Fletcher, also has a similar, probably almost identical shoes to him, and they both wearing broad brim hats, so we have to look closer to see who is who.
Moses bowls to Smith, who comes forward and drives the ball up to mid-off, gets a comfortable single. He is now moved on to 3. And the total has gone to 15 without loss. But it was really a lovely save. It was traveling very quickly. The outfield is fast, so fielders got to be off the turf very quickly, off the mark quickly. Moses moves in once more to bowl to Hodge, who to this delivery is coming for, gets a Yorker-like delivery right up in the block hole and came down rather heavily on it, turned it out on the outside. The bowler ran quickly, picked up, but by that time the batsman had crossed. Saw that there was no danger, so didn't shy at the non-striker's end. 1 more to the total. Hodge has now gone to 4. Smith, the left-hander, now comes into strike. The field changing around to accommodate him. He's on 3, 16 for 1. We're in over number 3, bowled by Alex Moses, who is there now, and bowls to Smith. Smith is off the back foot and cuts out to cover. Is that
Isaiah Simon, that's
Isaiah
right.
Simon
That can't be
there.
missed in the field, right?
Oh, no,
But the
absolutely
tallest man in the field.
Oh, he's a live wire, diminutive and dapper, but gosh, he loves feeling. He's so quick and off the turf. Reminds me of Gus Logie, although Gus Logie might have been a little taller than he is. Here's Moses in now, balls to Smith down the leg side. There's an appeal for caught behind,
Yeah.
not supported by the keeper, who did very well to move across to his right and collect. So that completes the over, and at the end of the over, pretty good one there by Moses. So 3 overs gone, it's 16 for 1.
Yeah, Alex will be feeling quite pleased with that over, bowling against 2 first-class players. We spoke about the caliber and the history and the legacy of Devon Smith, bowling and also the captain of the Windward's Volcanoes, Kavim Hodge, and to concede only 4. I thought what was good in that over, he tried to bowl a full length and had bowled a couple of deliveries that had to be dogged out. Just one shot on a wide one, which Devon Smith was not able to bounce on, but overall a very good over from Alex Moses.
It really was. He bowled a good line and length. Is that Cotoy who's be coming from the far end?
No, that's Alexis.
Alexis,
There's the
oh,
man with
sorry.
the fluorescent
Oh,
green.
there you go.
I think Kotoy just came back on the field because
Right,
he
he
was
was
off.
off for-
That's why Simon was on, but Kotoy's back on.
He's that backward point.
That's
his
correct.
favorite position there, and you can't miss him really. So here he is moving in now. He's there and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is coming forward and doesn't really hit it well. I think he's trying to hit the ball too hard, and he's losing his shape too, Kavim Hodge. He's a touch player and should play within his mold. Here once more is Akeem Alexis. He's there and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is hitting that in the air. That's going a long way. Somebody's going under it. No, he's gone. That's gone. That's gone for 6. That's a lovely shot. Really got the middle of the bat this time and heaved it over long on. 6 runs there to Hodge. And that would have just freed me a little bit of the shackles.
Yeah, Shondell Regis momentarily there down on the long on. Bungji was thinking that is coming straight down my throat. Tantalizing for a moment, but they end up sailing over his head. Good hit there by the Windward Islands Volcanoes captain.
Alexis bowls to Hodge. Hodge is looking to heave that over mid-wicket. Gets an on the edge. They're gone for 1. Won't come back for the second. The return comes into the keeper. They get 1. Well, was a shot in the dark that yielded... Was that a buy?
Just a buy, just a buy, solitary buy.
Yeah, it's a buy. So 1 more, of course, to the extras. And extras have now gone on to 7. Total has moved on to 23 for 1 as Akeem Alexis will move into bowl to Devon Smith, who's just taken 2 guards. To me, it looks more like a leg stump guard than he took a middle stump guard. And he gets over the top of his bat and taps away the crease. Here he is now. Is Alexis in and bowls to Smith. Smith to his delivery is hitting that over the mid-wicket area. That's
shot.
a fine shot. That's a
Excellent
magnificent shot for 6. Well, he picked it up well and lifted it sweetly over mid-wicket, and the fielder down there can only look in a rather helpless manner as it sailed over his head over the boundary line for 6. Lovely shot by Devon Smith, who's gone to 9. The total has gone to 29 for 1.
Yeah, this shot just demonstrates the severity of T10 cricket. There's very little margin for errors.
You're right.
And Akeem Alexis just erred in length on that time, and he was a positive over mid-wicket for 6.
Bowls again to Devon Smith, who tugs that down to the deep mid-wicket area. Will get a single. They amble it. The return comes into the non-striker's end. So 1 more to Alexis, to Smith, who's now gone into double figures. He's come alongside Kavim Hodge, who's on 10. Both batsmen on 10. The partnership 19 so far. It's 30 without for 1. As here once more is Alexis in and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is hitting
Good
that straight
shot.
back past the bowler. That's going to go all the way for 4. That's a lovely shot. He hit it straight as a pipeline. And it went over the bowler's head very quickly indeed. The fielder that's down there, that's Regis down at
Yes.
long on, didn't have the remotest of chance to cut it off. And it went quickly over the boundary line. 4 runs to complete that over. So Kavim Hodge has now got to 14. Smith is going to be taking strike next up. He's on 10. And the Bayleaf Blasters, they seem to be accelerating now. It's 34 for 1.
Yeah, they doubled the score in that previous over. The first 3 overs went for 17. The last one went for 7. Fourth over went for 17. 34 for 1. Really the urgency that the innings are needed at the end of to bring the power play to a close. And you can really see the class of the batsmen there on display. Hodge, the previous over you're saying that it was uncharacteristics, but the shots he played in that over was authentic and proper cricket shots, and you can see he got value for shots instead of looking for those shots over mid-wicket and so forth, which is not necessarily in his repertoire.
Yeah, you're right. It's a matter of getting to the pitch of the ball. That's so very important. Remember Viv Richards, saying to me many years ago when I asked him about how he handled the spin in India when he went there the first time, and he said the important thing is get to the pitch of the ball. So Kiran Kotoy, in fact, is hailed into the attack. He's pushed a long off and long on right back on the boundary.
Yeah,
And he's going to be moving in to bowl to Devon Smith, who's on 10. Had a nice big 6 in the previous over. So here is Kotoy, just dabbles his hand into the turf to make sure it's dry and able to grasp the ball very well. Here he is now, moving in to bowl to Smith. Smith is off the back foot and, as usual, cuts the ball down to backward point. He's such a lovely cutter of the ball, very strong, and a good puller of the ball too.
You talk about that, Pastor. What's your preference? His cover drives or his cuts and pulls?
I tell you. Here he is once more. He's got in now and bowls, and he's looking to slot sweep that one. In fact, succeeds in doing that. Alexis is down there on the mid-wicket area, and the batsmen have time to cross for one. So one more to Devon Smith, who's gone to 11, and the total has moved rather merrily on now to 35. 35 for one, as the right-handed Hodge comes into strike. There's a little bit of a change, though. The fielder there at mid-wicket is going across to extra cover, so the offside field is highly strengthened. Katoy, once more in brilliant sunshine. He's got that mop of hair, brown hair at the top of his head, moves in now and bowls to Hodge. Hodge is coming forward and hitting that over the mid-wicket area. That's a fine shot. That's gone for 6. Well, he got it on the full and hit it high and hard over mid-wicket, and he stayed there for the post, knowing, of course, that the cameras all here. 6 runs to Hodge, who's now gone on to 20 rather quickly, and Bayleaf blasters, they've begun to blast their way through. They're now 41 for 1.
Yeah, bad delivery there from Katoy, a full toss that was rightly dealt with by Hodge, and he'd be probably saying, Skip, you can be a bit more lenient on me, but Hodge was having none of it.
Yeah, here once more is Katoy. He's going to move into bowl to Hodge, who's really motoring along now. He's there and bowls. Hodge gets a shorter delivery that he pulls over the mid-wicket area. That's going to go once more for 6. Oh, that was a lovely shot. He pulled the length down and he was much too short. Hodge was under the back foot. He saw it very quickly early and lifted it in a rather imperious manner. Over the boundary line it went. So that's 2 consecutive 6s there by Kavim Hodge. Takes his total to 26. It's 47 for 1.
Oh, brutal there from Kavim Hodge. You can see the strength of the Dominican there in that shot there. He picked up the length quite quickly, and before you blink, it was over the boundary for 6.
Katoy once more. Treated very badly in the last 2 deliveries. In now and bowls to Hodge. Shorter one outside the off the back foot, and looking to cut the ball. Takes more on the edge of the bat and goes behind the keeper. Fine leg comes in, quickly picks the ball up, but they go through for a single. So one more there to Hodge, who's gone very quickly to 27, and the total has gone to 48. So the 50 just looming ahead as Devon Smith, who is 11, takes strike. Katoy making a little change. He's moving the fine leg a little bit squarer, more to his right. He's there now and passes the umpire and bowls to Smith. Smith is off the back foot and pulls down to backward square, and the ball is going to beat the backward square boundary fielder over the boundary line. It goes 4 runs. It was short. It was badly lined down the leg side. Smith got onto the back foot and just helped it on its way. 4 runs. The 50 has now been posted. It's 52 for 1, and the blasters are really blasting now.
Yeah, halfway stage, they have really upped the ante. Within the last 2 overs, they scored 35 runs. One, Akeem Alexis, the 4th over going for 17. Katoy, the 5th over going for 18. 52 for 1. Pastor at the halfway stage, they will be really looking to double that and get more, maybe 115, 120 to set an imposing target later on.
Yeah, I always say when you get up to the 100 mark, it's always a challenge in the 10-10 tournament. If you get up to 200 in the 2020, you can also think that that's a pretty good score. So they're on course after 5 overs, halfway stage, they're 52 for 1. And if we go in sequentially, then they can get up to that 100 mark.
Yeah, it's going to be Alexis again looking to redeem himself from that previous over, bowling to now 2 set batsmen.
One that is outside the awesome that he tugs down to the mid-wicket area. The catch is going to be taken. Yes, gone.
Fine catch there by Regis.
So Regis had to run across to his right. You've got to give him credit because he covered about 20 yards to his right, kept his eyes on the ball all the time, and took what turned out to be a rather easy catch. It turned out to look that way, but it was challenging. And so he goes, Kavim Hodge, caught down there on the deep mid-wicket area boundary for 27. He played his role very well. A fine innings have come to an end, and the total now 52 for 2. But this is a very important breakthrough for Nutmeg Warriors.
Oh, excellent. Much needed breakthrough indeed, because Hodge and Devon Smith, their partnership of 41 came in relatively quick time, and they would be feeling, Nutmeg Warriors would be feeling quite happy to see the back of Kavim Hodge, because he was really inflicting some punishment on the bowlers of the Nutmeg Warriors. He hit 3 sixes and 1 4, 27 runs off 15 balls. And I think Pastor Wam, the shot, though it was a good shot, but I think he would have probably targeted the wrong end of the ground, because the wind would have played a part in keeping that ball within the field of play. Had it been on the opposite side, he might just have sailed with the wind over the ropes of 6.
Yes, and brought about his demise, as they say, hard luck, as the two Smiths are now there, Dennis and Devon.
Yes, uncle and
Uncle
nephew
and nephew.
partnership.
Oh, what a
we
partnership.
we have seen it so many times that
yes.
in local, regional cricket, and here they are back again in the T10 tournament.
Well, here is Alexis in now on balls to Devon Smith. Devon Smith is off the back foot and cuts well. And we'll get 4 runs. Lovely shot. Katoy hurled himself to his right in rather spectacular fashion. Wasn't able to cut it off. And I tell you what, if Katoy doesn't cut that off, there are not a whole many other people who can cut that off. It was hit it right on the top of the bunks, Devon Smith. And that went down to the boundary for 4. He's now got to 19. It's 56 for 2.
Yeah, vintage Devon Smith there. But you never answered the question, Pastor Wam.
Oh, in his earlier days, I loved the drive. Later on in his life, that's Devon Smith we're referring to. There's just something about the pull shot, especially the short arm jab. I loved it. I really love it. You know.
Yeah,
So
one of the finest batsmen, if not the finest batsman produced within the Windward Islands.
I would want to say so.
Yeah.
Here is Akeem Alexis in now on balls to Smith. Smith is off the back foot and cuts well once more to the left of the fielder there, and will in fact get a second run. They come back for the second run. The ball going down to a wideish third man. So 2 more runs there to Devon Smith, who's now gone on to 21, and the total is moved on now to 58 for 2.
Yeah, it's quite fluid in so far from the captain of the Bayleaf Blasters.
Here is a delivery that pushes him onto the back foot. It is Devon Smith, and just opens the face of the bat in a rather delicate, lovely manner. Glides it down to third man, gets a single. He's now moved on to 22, and the total has gone to 59 for 2. We're in over number 6. This is the 4th delivery bowled, so it's got 2 more in this over. Some 7 runs so far, plus a wicket in this over by Akeem Alexis, who moves in to bowl to Dennis Smith. He's there now and bowls to Dennis Smith, who's advancing down the track. I think he saw him coming and maybe just pitches through a little quicker. Looked a little untidy there, just seemed to have lost his shape, and footwork wasn't the best in the world by Dennis Smith. Dot ball as Alexis once more moves in. Bowls to Smith, Dennis Smith that is, who is driving outside the off stump, doesn't make contact. Keeper collects behind the stumps. That completes the over. So at the end of over number 6 is 59 for 2. Dennis Smith is yet to score, and Devon Smith is 22 of 13.
Yeah, a bit of redemption there from Akeem Alexis. The first over went for 17. This one went for 7. And the wicket of Kavim Hodge. So he will be happy with his returns in the second over, as the Bayleaf Blasters now find themselves at 59 for 2 with 4 overs to go. Devon Smith is out there in the middle on 22. Recently joined by Dennis Smith, and they'll be hoping to keep the momentum on, as we see it's going to be a new bowler into the attack. That is going to be Sheldon Joseph, taking up the attack from the Dabo end of the ground, bowling to the Smith pair, and he'll be looking to see if he can dislodge
Cat among the pigeons, so to speak, figuratively speaking here. So Joseph is going to move in. He's got a short third man. There is a backward point. You know who is there. There's no need for me to tell you who's at backward point. Extra cover. The sweeper is right back on the boundary. Long off, long on. There's a deep mid wicket as Joseph is in now, and both Devon Smith gets a Yorker-like delivery. Turns to forward square. The first for 1. They're coming back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. Oh, but it was not the best return in the world.
Bit of a wayward throw there, as we saw Devon Smith had to turn on the actually it's 1 shot. So all of that just for 1 run, 1 shot being signaled by the umpire there. Devon Smith really turned on the motors there, and it would have been unfortunate had he been dismissed, because it would have been ended up for 0, nothing.
You're sure right. Well, all is well that ends well, of course, in the case of Devon and Dennis. As he settles over his bat, Devon Smith taps away at the crease in a rather merry manner. He's there now, Joseph Bowles, and he turns that nicely down to backward square. That's 4. No, that was a lovely shot. It was slanting down the leg side. It was badly lined, and Devon Smith just got inside the line and helped it on its way down to the backward square boundary. That was played in such a skillful manner. We can see the replay now, and oh, that was lovely. That really was lovely. And the deep backward square fielder didn't have a chance at all to cut that off. So 4 more to Smith. That's Devon Smith, who's got to 27, is 64 for 2. Here once more is Joseph in, and Bowles to Devon Smith, who is rocking the back. Oh, ball him! Yeah, he has. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. I don't know whether he did in fact come off the pad. We'll have to see in the replay, but he was onto the back foot. Just seemed to be hurried up a little bit, and the bails are spattered all over the place. Let's see whether did he get a, did it
No,
touch
it went straight
it
to
went
him.
right through. I
Yeah.
thought for a fleeting moment that it might have just clipped the pad on its way through. No, it went through the gate. The gate was very, very slim, I dare say, but it went through. So Devon Smith is gone for 27 or 16. 63 for 3, 63 for 3. Well bowled, Joseph.
Yeah, good delivery there. You could see that one pitched outside, just outside the line of the leg stump, moved across the left-handed Devon Smith and knocked back the off stump. Very good stuff there from Sheldon Joseph, able to dismiss the veteran Devon Smith and brings now to the crease Nkosi St. Hilaire. Last season, St. Hilaire would have been wearing the colours of the Saffron Strikers, and this year he has migrated to Bayleaf Blasters and will be looking to see if he can finish strong for his team and help set a competitive total.
Yeah, well, he's got that in mind, no question about that. You must be referred to a veteran by now, as St. Hilaire.
Yeah, he has played quite a lot of cricket. I think he at the under 15s, the under 19s. He played represented the national team in the past, so he's definitely has veteran status.
Joseph to St. Hilaire, who dabbles at that outside the ostrom, but in a sort of schoolboyish manner, doesn't make contact. Keeper collects behind the stumps. The total remains on 64 for 3.
Yeah, now heading up into the end of the 7th over, and the last couple of overs, you can see the last 2 overs, Bayleaf Blasters, Nutmeg Warriors, they would have been done quite well to stifle the run scoring opportunities. Within the last 10 deliveries, there was just 9 runs scored.
Outside the off stump by Joseph, hit hard down to cover as they had the opportunity to cross for 1. So 1 more to, well, he's just off the mark, I beg your pardon. Nicholas St. Hilaire, he's off the mark by 1. Dennis Smith, who is yet to score, comes into strike, 65 for 3. Just taking his guard, making sure everything is fine. As here is Sheldon Joseph, moves into bowl to Dennis Smith, who is turning that nicely down to forward square leg, picks up a comfortable single, gets off the mark. So 1 to Dennis Smith as the over comes to an end. 7 overs gone, and at the end of 7, 66 for 3 Bayleaf Blasters. They got 3 overs remaining, and they probably will think about getting maybe another 40 runs.
Yeah, 18 deliveries left. They need to go at least a minimum of 10 runs and over, which takes them up to 96. And we'll be looking to see if they can get a few more to get the total over 100. Because we all know of the quality of the wicket outside there. We can see the bowlers are getting a little bit of assistance for it. But as the sun continues to stride down on the pitch, it's only going to get much more flatter. And I think this team defending in the second inning would want to know that they have a total they can feel comfortable defending.
Yes, and so of course on reflection is Nutmeg Warriors. They will be having other things in mind, wanting to restrict them maybe to a total of about 90, as it's going to be Cyrus coming in for his second over. He's in and bowls, and looking to turn that out on the onside. Dennis Smith, beg your pardon, doesn't make contact with the bat. Picked up behind the stumps there by the keeper. Here he is once more, is Cyrus. Right arm leg spin in bright sunshine. A little skip and a hop. He's there on bowls, and it's lifted straight down the ground. Fine shot, 6. No question about that. Just came forward, Dennis Smith, got right under it and lifted it high and handsome, very straight. No chance for the long off or long on fielder at all to get under it, over the boundary line. Fine shot for 6. He's now gone to 7. It's 72 for 3.
Excellent there from Dennis Smith, hitting straight, and you can see the Bayleaf Blasters batsman quite success hitting straight.
Down the leg side.
Good take.
Good take. Down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. There might have been a challenge there at fine leg. Well, wide signal, one more to the total. It's now gone on to 73. He has just called. That's Dennis Smith for a leg stump guard. Confirmed now, and he's going to be facing up once more to Cyrus, who is in now. There and bowls, and he's off the back foot and cuts down to backward point. They've gone for one. They will come back quite comfortably for the second run. The return comes into the keeper, just brings him forward slightly, and the batsmen have time to cross for two. So 2 more runs there to Dennis Smith, takes his total now to 9, and the total has gone out to 75 for 3 Bayleaf Blasters. Cyrus again, 1 for 11 so far in now, and bowls to Dennis Smith, who is off the back foot and cutting down to the deep squarish backward point boundary, and will get 2. Was able to beat the fleet-footed Katoy there at backward point. So 2 more to Dennis Smith. It's gone into double figures, gone to 11. All 7s on the board, 77 for 3. As the backward point is taken away. It's more down to deep cover, sweeping. Dennis Smith, 11. Nicosi St-Hilaire, 1, looks at the non-striker's end. Cyrus is in now, and bowls to Smith. Smith is driving the ball up to long on. Regis comes off the boundary, gets a single. So 1 more to his total. It's gone now to 12. Brings Nicosi St-Hilaire into strike, who's yet to, yes, he's 1, beg your pardon. 78 for 3. We're in over number 8. This is a final delivery in this over coming up, as Cyrus, 1 for 14, moves in now to bowl, and he's bowled him. Oh, knocked him over. An absolute beauty of a ball. You know what? I really enjoy the bowling of Darryl Cyrus. I think he's such a confident bowler. Knocked him over. Let's look at the replay here. We've got it. Yes, hit. He was looking maybe to hit that through maybe through mid-on, and took him on the pad onto the stump. And so he's gone for 1. 1, that's Nicosi St-Hilaire. 78 for 4. And what a fine bowling spell here in his 2 overs. Cyrus, 2 overs, no maidens, picked up 2 for 40.
Excellent bowling there from Darryl Cyrus. As you can see that Nicosi St-Hilaire on that attempt was looking to play across the line of the delivery, pitched John just about a leg stump, turned away from him, and was able to beat his bat playing across the line. Cyrus will be feeling quite pleased with his performance of 2 for 14, and responsible for the scalps of Nicosi St-Hilaire and Jelani Robinson, and to inflict further breaks on the scoring of the Bayleaf Blasters, who are now 78 for 4 with 2 overs left.
You're right. And Sherman Lewis has come out to join Dennis Smith. Here is Joseph in, bowls, and Smith is on driving, gets it up to long on, will get an easy single. He is now gone on by 1 to 13, and the total has gone to 79 for 4. Bayleaf Blasters brings Sherman Lewis into strike. Of course, the tall of the 2, fast bowler. Is there a little bit of rejuvenation in his bowling, Kerry? I'm going to come back to that. Here he is once more. He's there and bowls, and he's got a Yorker-like delivery. Well bowled there by Joseph, right up into the block hole. He had to come down rather heavily on it, pushed it back along the track for the bowler to pick up on his follow-throughs. Still 79 for 4.
Yes, good couple of deliveries there from Jackson, keeping the batsmen honest. You know that as Lewis looking to go over, a beautiful shot there from Lewis, races into the boundary for 4. A bad ball, I would say, shot and wide outside the off stump. And even though Sherman Lewis is not recognized as one of the top order batsmen, but even him at his skill set can put dispatch at 1 for 4.
Well, he certainly did, and he did it quite handsomely too, and with a great deal of authority. There was nothing iffy about that shot at all. It was all genuine, authentic. It was a good, clean hit, and Katoy could only look rather painfully as it went over his head down to the boundary for 4. He's gone to 4, 83 for 4, and we're in over number 9. Bowled there by Joseph.
Yeah, 9 balls left, and they would be looking to see if they can score at least a minimum of 17 of that 9 deliveries. Because seeing 100 on the board is much more imposing than probably a 98 or a 99. So they will want to get up to 3 figures.
It's amazing, this little bit of psychology with figures and all of that. There's a total of 98. It's just too short of 100. But when you look and you see 100, it looks so much more. So here he moves in once more. Joseph in now and balls to Lewis. Lewis is wrapped on the pad. They go through for a quick single. He was looking to turn that ball out on the onside. The umpire would signal with standing up there on his left leg and hitting the thigh of his right leg. A little bit unbalanced for a little moment there, but all is well. One more to the total. It's gone to 84. And Dennis Smith now comes into strike. Joseph began to move in, but Dennis wasn't quite ready as yet. Turns once more, wheels around, moves in, and bowls to Dennis Smith outside the off stump and looking to cut. Not a good shot at all. I think he was bat was just too far away from the body. He should have been moving across,
Get closer to it. That's
but he
right.
stayed away from the ball and looking to uppercut that and collect it behind the stumps. 84 for 4. So Smith is 13, taking strike from Joseph, who is in now and bowls, and he hits that down to the deep mid wicket area. They get one. Are they going to come back for the second run? The return comes in. Oh, and it missed. I think he might well have been stranded there, Dennis Smith, who was thinking about getting the second run. So the over comes to an end, and at the end of it, the run rate right now is 9.44. As I said, they would like to get up to maybe the 10 mark. 85 for 4, 85 for 4. Lewis is on 4, Dennis Smith is on 14. 9 overs gone, and the Bayleaf Blasters, they've got just 1 over to face. And let's see what is going to turn out with this particular over. Just a 1 over to go. And so I think the Nutmeg Warriors will be rather happy with this total 85 for 4. But with this last over, if the Bayleaf Blasters can hit maybe 15 from this, might just create a bit of a bother here for the Nutmeg Warriors. So Dennis Smith will be taking strike, 14 of 11. As here is Jackson, moves in from the far end and bowls to Dennis Smith down the leg side. And thought about a single. Lewis, who was scampering, wide signal by the umpire, but he was scampering along the pitch as if to say, hey, let's go for this. And Dennis Smith said, no, I would have none of it at all. I would like to face this next delivery coming up because the first one was a wide. 86 for 4. Third man inside the circle. Backward point also inside the circle. There's a sweeper down at the cover area. And extra cover, long off and long on, right back on the boundary, deep mid wicket right back, and a deep backward square right back. Here he is once more, Jackson in and bowls to Smith that down the leg side. The umpire will confirm that it's a wide, arms extended, spread as a bird. And so 1 more to the total is now gone to 87. Now that's not good line there by Haston Jackson. Will be very disappointed about that. The fine leg has now been pushed back onto the boundary. I think Fletcher may have seen what he did with those last 2 deliveries. If he had gotten a tickle onto it, may have gone for 4. So he's pushed the fine leg back, and the cover he's brought into the field restricting area. Delivery that is pushed up on the offside to extra cover. The extended arm of the umpire suggests that that's a no ball, so he's guilty of overstepping. Cardinal error. Whatever stage of an innings this is, you don't want to overstep at all. And he did that, so it's going to be a free hit while an extra run has been given. 89 for 4. What will he do, Sherman Lewis, with this free hit that he has? Let's see. He's just taken his guard. Seemed to be a leg stump guard from here. And the field cannot be changed. Remember that. Here is Jackson. Moving in now to bowl. It's a free hit, remember. In bowls to Lewis. And Lewis pulls that down to... Where did that go? Well, it looked... He was shaping to pull that down to the mid-wicket area and certainly didn't get it far. And would be disappointed with that, no doubt. So, still, we're in over number 9. Still 5 deliveries remaining in this over. Jackson moves in, leans forward, straightens up his approach there now, and bowls to Lewis, and Lewis is pulling that. Doesn't really cue it as well as he anticipated. Gets it down just to the left rather of the square leg umpire in front of square, and got a single. So one more to Lewis, who is now gone on to 5. Dennis Smith, who is 15, now comes into strike. 90 for 4. We're in over number 10. So, as it's once more Jackson coming in, this time to bowl to the short of the 2. That's Dennis Smith. He's there and bowls, and Smith is off the back foot, turns that down to fine leg. They've gone for 1. They won't come back for the second. The return comes into the keeper. It's a sharp 1. So just a 1, although that was sinking on the leg side, and maybe very well too that Fletcher did push that fine leg right back on the boundary. If that were not done, it would have resulted in 4, but they got restricted just a single. 91 for 4. As it's once more, that's Jackson from the far end. He's there now and bowls, and Lewis is looking to hit that down to backward square. There's an appeal for leg before, not out, said the umpire. Well, ball just dribbling out in front of him on the onside. They saw the opportunity for the single and took it. So leg by signaled by the umpire, as 2 more legal deliveries to go. 92 for 4. So can they get over that 100 mark? It looks rather difficult. Jackson is in now and bowls to Smith. Smith is tugging that out to mid-wicket. Now they've hustled for 1. I don't think they're going to come back for the second. The return comes in to the keeper's end. And so no harm done. 1 there. So this is turning out to be a pretty good over here by Jackson. Just a 1 legal delivery remaining in this innings. It's going to be faced by Sherman Lewis. So here is Jackson moving in now to bowl to Lewis. He's just about there and bowls, and there's a big booming driving effort there by Lewis. Doesn't make contact. Keeper collects down the leg side, but he did play inside the line, so that's why it won't be called a wide there by the umpire. The innings has come to an end. 94 for 4, 94 for 4 of 10, which means that the run rate is 9.40. That's not bad really, but it's just a working total. And let's just give you a little bit of the scorecard here. So Robinson, that's Jelani Robinson, was bowled by Cyrus for 7 balls, just 6 minutes there at the crease. Kaveem Hodge was caught Regis of the bowling of Alexis. He played his role very well. 27, 15 balls and had 3 sixes and 1 4. Devon Smith came out, a quick cameo before he was bowled by Joseph for 27, 16 balls, 21 minutes at the crease. 3 fours and 1 6. Dennis Smith not out 16, and Nicosi St. Hilaire was bowled by Cyrus for 1. Sherman Lewis not out 5. 94 for 4, 94 for 4. Extras rather healthy. 15, 6 byes, 3 leg byes, 4 wides, 2 no balls. I think we will be in fact standing by with Kerry there, who's going to be having a bit of a between innings interview. He doesn't seem to be quite ready as yet. Yes, he is in fact ready now, so let's go across to Kerry Frank.
So we're here with the 2 players, Kaveem Hodge, Bayleaf Blasters, finishing on 94. Kaveem, what do you think of your team's total?
Yeah, it's a pretty good total, given the start we had. I think that, the guys bowl really well at the top. They really bowl the ball in some really good areas. But I think, it's a total that we could work with. You just have to be disciplined at the top as well and take the chances when they come.
We saw you guys had good success hitting straight. Is that one of the secrets of success here on this wicket?
Yeah, the pitch is very good and the ball is, it's coming on nicely. So it's just a matter of hitting the ball wherever it's coming from. I think, it's a pretty good pitch. Once you play cricket shots, you get value for your shots.
All right, well, Kaveem, congrats on your knock of 27 and all the best to your team in the match.
Thank you.
Cyrus, being tasked with opening the bowling, is that a challenge you relished?
It's not really a challenge. First of all, I just want to say thanks to God for giving me 2 kids today, and bowling very tight. And it's not really a challenge because I've done it before.
You would have coming up against some top guys at the top of the order, getting 2 wickets, Jelani Robinson and Nkosi Sentile. How pleased are you with your performance?
Very pleased. I've been doing a lot of hard work on my bowling, so I think it's just execution, and he was doing well.
I think we did notice a googly there for the first wicket. Was that a googly?
No, it's just a slider. One that just slides straight on.
All right. You're restricting a good batting line after 94. Are you guys pleased with the effort in the field?
Of course, definitely. Most pleased, because I think just for the batters to go there and make the most of the power play. I think the power play is very crucial.
All right. Well, Cyrus, we want to wish you and Nutmeg Warriors all the best of the match.
All right, thanks.
All right. So that's it from the pitch side report.
Yeah, and so of course, with the innings coming to a close at Bayleaf Blasters innings 94 for 4, and the highlights of course, the innings were 2 good scores, one from Kaveem Hodge, 27, and Devon Smith, who also scored 27. So, innings break here. We're going to be back to take up when, in fact, Bayleaf Blasters will be responding. It means that they'll have to get 95 of 10. Sorry, that's Nutmeg Warriors, and that should be a very competitive reply indeed. So until then, rejoin us when Bayleaf Blasters will be bowling to Nutmeg Warriors.
Live from the stadium that delivered that memorable and emphatic win to the West Indies, Grenada, comes the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 2.0 cricket competition. 30 matches, 14 days of exciting T10 cricket action. 6 teams, only one will be champions. See the likes of the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, Devon Smith, international players Kesrick Williams, Alec Atenes, and more. Support your team. Love the game. Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 2.0 cricket competition. April 5th to the 18th. Grenada National Stadium. Pure Spice of the Caribbean.
Deeply rooted in our rich ancestral traditions. Spice Mass, the return, a celebration of life.
Welcome to Spice Mass 2022. Reviving the spirit of our ancestors through our traditional mass. Jab, the unique celebration of freedom, drenched in black. Feel the power. The rejuvenating sound of pan. A display of colors in fancy mass. And the rebirth of calypso and soca music.
The biggest and safest summer festival in the region, August 8th and 9th. Let's go to Grenada for Spice Mass. Call your booking agents and get your tickets today.
I too have felt the impact of this pandemic and miss the days of being able to socialize with the freedom we once had. But it is in these times that we must come together to fight as one people through getting vaccinated and doing what's right. I am Aruna Neptune and I am fully vaccinated. Play your part. Keep yourselves, your loved ones, and your community protected. Spice Mass, here we come. It's our time again.
Welcome back to the National Stadium for the chase of the Nutmeg Warriors in pursuit of 95 for victory. They would have enjoyed the first half of the inning, restricting the Bayleaf Blasters to just 94 of the 10 overs. Very good efforts there with the ball by Daryl Cyrus, 2 for 14. Sheldon Joseph, 1 for 13. The other wicket taker was Akim Alexis. He had 1 for 24, rebounding well in his second over after conceding 17 of his first over. The top batters was both 27 apiece for Kavim Hodge and Devon Smith. And I think the Bayleaf Blasters would be feeling a little bit underwhelming with the total that was set. At one stage, they were 52 for 1 after 5 overs and finishing on 94 for 4. They would feel that they were a few runs short. The players and the umpires, they're all out in the middle. As we see the opening pair for the Nutmeg Warriors, they're in the middle. That is Andre Spiceman Fletcher, captain of the Nutmeg Warriors. With him is Sean Del Regis, who is in really excellent touch, who would have scored a fantastic 55 not out yesterday, and he will be feeling good about his personal form, and will be hoping that he can continue or follow up with another good performance today. Andre Spiceman Fletcher, his name speaks for himself as to the caliber he had, the caliber of the player he is, and his recording. This is shorter and shortest versions of the game. Andre Fletcher last season was one of the top run scorers, and he had scored 396 runs to date in the Spicel T10 tournaments in 13 matches, and we'll be looking to see if he can add much more to that as he gets his team another victory today. Hodge is in first to Fletcher, and it's going to be a battle between the Grenadian and the Dominican teammates on the Windwards Volcanoes. Hodge normally opens the bowling for his teams in the T10 tournament. We could have seen he would have done this similar in St. Vincent, as he's into Fletcher. Shot delivery, and Fletcher uses the short-arm jab over the boundary into the stands for 6. Excellent shot there from Fletcher. He picked up the length quite early, and with just the flick of a wrist, that ball was flying over the backward square for 6. So Fletcher is off the mark, and he, with a big touring 6, the Nutmeg Warriors, they're 6 without loss. Hodge will be looking to see if he can rebound quickly in terms of his length, knowing that you cannot bowl short to Fletcher, has to bowl right in those right areas. As another short one outside the off-stump, Fletcher comes back, cuts, but he's not able to beat Jelani Robinson, who was able to get his frame behind that one there. So might be a missed opportunity there from Fletcher, but all as Hodge once again into bowl to Fletcher. Fletcher this time again, the no-look trademark shot, and that one goes flying over the deep backward square region up into the member stand, the second level of the member stand. We've seen some big hits so far for the last 2 days, but this certainly is the biggest of them all. Trademark no-look from Andre Fletcher, and you can see Hodge is disappointed with that. Andre Fletcher, 2 sixes in the over, and Nutmeg Warriors at 12 without loss. And a bit of one of the fielders has to do a bit of retrieving there, and Andre Fletcher is capitalizing on anything loose early in the inning, and Hodge would have to really fight back now for his team as the umpire inspects the ball, which was gotten a serious dent in the previous delivery. This one is shot down, sliding on the leg side. Andre Fletcher just caresses it between the fielder at backward square and fine leg into the long leg boundary for 4. So Andre Fletcher, he's off on a roller coaster this afternoon here at the National Stadium. In the first over, it's already 16 on only 5 balls has been delivered there. Andre Fletcher making a statement quite early in this innings. Final delivery to coming up from Hodge, looking to get some grip on that one. Dursting his hand a bit on the turf in front of him, and bits of looking to see how he can contain the runaway train that is Andre Fletcher so far in this over. And another shot one comes back and pulls. This time there we have Richard Rogers stationed on the mid-wicket boundary. The batsmen, they cross over for a single. A very expensive first over, one which conceded 17 runs off the bat of Andre Fletcher, and the Nutmeg Warriors, in pursuit of 95 for victory, they are 17 without loss. Nutmeg Warriors and Bayleaf Blasters, reminding you they're the two teams that would have won their opening match yesterday, and now they will be looking to see if they can both make it 2 wins on the trot to start the tournament. It's going to be opening the bowling from the southern end. 2 players who would have known each other very well from since the days of primary school. Nealon Pascal will be bowling to Andre Fletcher. Nealon Pascal from the community of Malmont Canal in St. David's. Andre Fletcher from the village of Demon Latant in St. David's. 2 students of the St. Joseph's REC School in Pomerose, and known each other quite well from since those days, and it should be an interesting battle between these 2 veterans of local cricket here in Grenada. And Pascal, West Indies international, Fletcher, West Indies international, as he's in to bowl to Fletcher. Short delivery, Fletcher looks to hit him back over his head, misses it, and in the trademark Nealon Pascal fashion, you can see a bit of movement of the pitch there with the new white ball, and Fletcher's intent is quite strong early as he's looking to go after his good friend. The Nutmeg Warriors off to a good start, and Fletcher so far has faced all 7 deliveries. The not-out batsman Shondell reaches, non-striker, and Fletcher advances down the track to a short delivery from Pascal. He's able to open up his body and hit that over the offside for 4, and we can see now that shot has inspired the captain Devon Smith to make some changes as he calls in the fielder, that is Dubiset, who is stationed on the long leg boundary into the shot, or what we'll say the 45, and the fielder is stationed now back on the cover boundary. That looks to be Jelani Robinson. He's been asked by the captain to remain out on the boundary. We saw yesterday Kem Charles would have dismissed Andre Fletcher in a similar area, and Fletcher advances down the track to Nealon Pascal, hits him over his head, long and high and hard, up into the second stand of the members pavilion, and that's a big touring 6 there from Andre Fletcher, and he's really taking advantage of the bowlers here in the early proceedings. 6 more to Fletcher. He's on 27, and he has scored so far all 27 runs scored by the Nutmeg Warriors. Extraordinary batting there from the man Andre Spiceman Fletcher, as the fielders, they do some retrieving to get the ball out of the second stand down there in the members pavilion, the southern end of the ground. And Andre Fletcher, so far, he smashed 3 4s and 2 6s of 9 deliveries, 27 runs. He is a man on a mission so far today. We see the umpires. The umpires are third umpire for this match, Dighton Butler, getting out into the middle with a replacement ball. Probably that ball would have gone into one of the areas there, as we see the replay again, into one of the locked areas of the stadium, so would have to be retrieved there by maybe later on by one of the members of the stadium crew. An excellent work there by the cameraman as he was able to pick up that delivery sailing into the stands. And 6 more the result to Andre Fletcher, and he is on a mission. 27 without loss, and we're just in the middle of over number 2. Just reminding you, Andre Fletcher continuing off a very good first season in the VPL, where he has a second lead in this Spiceisle Premier League. Short delivery wrapped on the pad. Big appeal there from Nealon Pascal. He's a bit distraught that he was not able to get the decision of the favor from the umpire. As we look at that replay again, delivery from Pascal, short in length, rising delivery, hit him batsman outside the line of the off stump. Very good decision there by umpire Sean Manwaring. And Fletcher, Pascal is a bit disappointed that the decision was not given in his favor, but that one looked like it was just hit the batsman outside the off stump. Fletcher survives, and the Warriors, they remain 27 without loss. Pascal back to the top of his mark, looking as he's about to turn to bowl yet again to Andre Fletcher, who has faced all 10 deliveries so far in the innings. Fletcher advances down the track again to Nilon Pascal. This time the ball beats the advancing Fletcher, passes between his body and the leg stump, goes through to be taken by wicket keeper Dennis Smith, and no runs is scored. So 2 dot balls so in 2 consecutive dot balls there from Nilon Pascal, bringing a sort of lull in the scoring. Andre Fletcher is really going off at a fast pace so far. 27 from 11 deliveries, scoring at a rate of 245.5 in terms of strike rate, and just require only 68 more from 49 balls, that is the Nutmeg Warriors, to claim a second victory. But I know the Bayleaf unit, they would have different intentions to see if they can prize the wicket of Fletcher and inflict some pressure on the batting lineup. Fletcher advances down the track again, hits that one over long on for 6. Another boundary for Fletcher, another 6 for Fletcher. He moves on to 33, and after 2 overs, it has been the Andre Fletcher show here at the Spice Isle T10 tournament, match number 3 in season 2 between the Bayleaf Blasters and the Nutmeg Warriors. Andre Fletcher is 33, and the total 33 without loss after 2 overs. We'll see a change of bowling from the northern end of the ground. That is going to be Amical Dubiset. He is taking up the action. He had a very good spell yesterday. Bowled with quite good control, and he has been one of the go-to bowlers for Captain Devon Smith in the 2 editions so far of the tournament. Has served his team well, and in the encounter yesterday between the Bayleaf Blasters and Clove Challengers, Amical Dubiset, he would have had figures of his figures in his 2 overs was 1 for 11 off 2, quite economical, going at 5.5 runs and over. And he's asked now to stem the run scoring, for he'll be bowling off to Shondell Regis, who will be facing his first delivery of the inning. And that one is short and wide outside the off. Some cut to that's Kavim Hodge there, who is stationed at backward point. No run scored. So it's just now 62 runs of 48 deliveries. They just need to score at just under 8 runs and over. So totally in control of the proceedings at the moment. As the umpires, they call the ball to do a check. And a discussion is now being had between the 2 umpires in the middle. That is Roger Davis and Sean Manwaring. You know, it's the match 3 in the Spice Island T10 tournament. The 3rd match here of the tournament, the first match on day 2. Later on this afternoon, we're going to see 2 teams make their entry into the tournament for the first time. It will be Ginger Generals coming up against Cinnamon Pacers. Reminding you, both Ginger Generals and Cinnamon Pacers, they would have met in the 2nd semi-final of the 1st edition of the tournament. That match was won by Cinnamon Pacers, and it's an opportunity for Ginger Generals to meet the team that knocked them out of the tournament last year in their first match in this tournament. And I'm sure they would have old scores in which they'd want to settle. As we see, the action is about to resume in the middle. It is going to be Dubiset to Shondell Regis. And Regis opens up himself, gets what might be the faintest of edge, eludes the stumps. Oh, it's actually by, so you'd have missed it completely, and that ball would have missed everyone. That, as we look at the replay, ball pitching on the line of the off stump, continues. Oh my goodness, that would have almost kissed the off stump. Miss it by a whisker. Shoot to the keeper, down to the boundary for 4. What a close encounter that one was there between the ball and the stumps. It's Dubisset once again into bowl to Regis, and to this one, Regis is hitting down the ground. He can't beat the fielder there at the mid-on position. That is Caden Felix, who would have done well to stop a well-hit delivery and limit the batsman just to 1. So Regis is off the mark, he's on 1, and brings Andre Fletcher, who's on 33 of 12 balls, into the strike. The field being meticulously set now by Captain Smith for Andre Fletcher, reminding you that we're still into the power play overs, and the 2 fielders outside of the circle for Smith. We see Long On is going back on the boundary, and the other fielder out of the circle is a fielder at mid wicket, as Dubisset is being bellowed some encouragement from behind the stumps by Dennis Smith. A delivery wide outside the off stump, and signal now wide by umpire Roger Davis, and he would be encouraged to be set to keep the ball maybe a bit closer to Smith, because he doesn't have protection over the offside, and those deliveries outside the off stump, wide outside the off stump, is really an invitation to hit over the top outside the off stump. Knowing Andre Fletcher, he's quite proficient in scoring different areas of the field. And that one again is outside the off stump, as just as I would have spoken to Andre Fletcher, hits that one inside out over the extra cover for 6. Another fine shot from Andre Fletcher. It's now his 5th 6 of the inning, and in just 13 deliveries, Andre Fletcher is 39, and the total is now 45 without loss in over number 3, meaning that the Bayleaf Nutmeg Warriors, they only need 50 of the remaining 7.2 overs to record a victory in this, the 3rd match of the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 tournament, and also the 2nd victory for the Nutmeg Warriors. Clinical hitting there from Devon Smith, as his bat is being inspected by Kavim Hodge, trying to figure out where that power is coming from. Is it the man? Is it the equipment? And it's being inspected there, Hodge, and he himself would be pleased with the hitting on display shown by Andre Fletcher. Might be a bit on the receiving end, but it's certainly a clinical performance from Andre Fletcher. 39 from 13 deliveries, 2 4s and 5 6s. Dubisset is in once more to Fletcher. This time this delivery is angling into the batsman. Fletcher opens the face of the bat, plays it behind square on the onside for a single. So he moves on to 40 with the total now 46 without loss. And Fletcher has certainly seized the initiative here early in the innings for his team. They are almost halfway through the total with less than 3 overs bowled so far. The final delivery of the 3rd over to be bowled to be set gets a set to Regis, who is not quite ready as yet and backs away. Short delivery, angling out across the batsman, played towards the fielder there at backward point. At his Kavim Hodge, he does the fielding, no run score. So over, relatively economical over in the context of things. Just 9 runs conceded of the 3rd over, and after 3 overs, Nutmeg Warriors, in pursuit of 95 for victory, they are 46 without loss. Andre Fletcher on 40, Shondell Regis on 1, and the boundaries, they have been coming to a fast clip. 7 boundaries have been scored so far in the inning of just 3 overs. 5 touring 6s of the bat of Andre Fletcher, and he had 2 4s to add to that. It's another change of bowling. Captain Devon Smith looking for that breakthrough. He has turned to another West Indies test bowler, Sherman Lewis, to take up the action from the southern end of the ground. Lewis, yesterday he would have bowled well, bowling outside of the power play, but today he's tasked with the target of bowling his first over in the final over of the power play. Sherman Lewis, yesterday's match against Clove Challengers, had 1 for 11, and it's certainly a different challenge here with the well-set Andre Fletcher on strike. Advances down the track again. Andre Fletcher clips that one off the legs, sailing into over the onside mid-wicket area for 6. So that's a 6-6 for Andre Fletcher in his innings. He moves on by 6 to 46. That brings up the 50 partnership. The total of 20 deliveries, 18 minutes, 2 fours and 6 sixes. The total 52 without loss in over number 4. Andre Fletcher is on 46. Shondell Regis is on 1. And Andre Fletcher gunning for what could be one of the fastest 50s recorded in the Spice Island T10 tournament. Advances down the track again, doesn't connect, and that one trickles out to Devon Smith on the offside in the who does the fielding there, and Andre Fletcher looking to stamp his authority on the bowlers here. Bowlers he will be quite familiar with, the likes of Kavim Hodge, Nilon Pascal, Amikel Dubiset and Sherman Lewis, and he's setting himself apart, a man on a mission at the moment to help his team across the line to record their second victory. Just 43 runs required from 40 deliveries. A good delivery there from Lewis. He saw Fletcher coming, and he would have pushed the ball across him. Fletcher is not able to connect that well, and the ball goes to the offside, fielded by Hodge. And with the batsman, they were able to complete a single. Brings on strike now Shondell Regis. His knock yesterday of 55. He's merely a passenger in the a spectator in the Andre Fletcher show today. Reminding you, it's only 42 from 39, just over 6 runs and over. The Nutmeg Warriors in total control. Short delivery, where Regis Jaiso gets inside the line of that one to pull, doesn't connect, goes through to the keeper, but it's signaled wide by the umpire. So another run to the total, another extra to the total, pushes the score to 54 for naught. Shondell Regis, a former under 19 captain for Grenada, Windward Islands under 19 player, faces up to Lewis, clips that one fine, but can't beat. That is Rogers in fine leg, who does a good bit of fielding. That one was traveling to him quickly, and he was able to get the barrier down to stop that from passing him. Can't prevent the single though, and brings Andre Fletcher back on strike, who is quite hungry for the strike at the moment. 47 of 17. He's in the zone right now and is looking to see if he can inflict further pain on the bowlers of the Bayleaf Blasters. Just 2 deliveries left in the power play, and the Nutmeg Warriors, they've already rocked up 55 runs on the board. And Fletcher pulls well, dissects the fielder there between short fine leg and backward square for 4. Excellent shot there from Andre Fletcher, and with that boundary brings up his 50 runs of 18 balls, 21 minutes, 3 fours and 6 sixes, and the Spiceman show continues here at the National Stadium. Nutmeg Warriors 59 without loss, and 51 of those coming off the bat of Andre Fletcher. The final over, the final delivery of the power play is coming up to be bowled by Lewis, and Fletcher advances, hits that down too long on, where Pascal does the fielding, sends in the return. So it's the end of the 4th over, it's the end of the power play. After the end of the power play, it's 60 without loss. The Warriors, they're scoring at a run rate of 15 runs and over, making really small task of the challenge before them. They require just 35 runs of 36 balls, and they're totally in control here of this, the 3rd match in the Spice Island T10 tournament season 2. It's another change in the bowling. This now brings back into the attack Kavim Hodge, who his first over, he was severely punished by Andre Fletcher going for 17. You can easily say that the tone was set in the first over with 2 big sixes off the bat of Fletcher, and now Hodge with a bit of more protection is into bowl to Fletcher, and Fletcher opens up his hitting range, tries to hit that one over the mid-wicket area. He's not able to connect, and the ball trickles onto the onside, where Rogers comes in from the deep mid-wicket boundary to do the fielding. So the Blasters would be feeling a bit better with Andre Fletcher being on the non-striker's end, not having to deal with his firepower just for a fleeting moment. It's Hodge again into now Shondell Regis. The first time he's bowling to Regis for this innings. And Regis gets a short ball, gets inside the line of that one and deposits it over deep over the square mid-wicket boundary for 6. So here Hodge goes again, erring in length. And that one is picked up quite easily and early by Regis for another 6. And Regis now gets into the 6 hitting mood. It's the 7th 6 of the inning, and the Nutmeg Warriors, reminding you, they need in pursuit of 95 for victory. They are 67 without loss in over number 5. 28 required of just 34 balls, and it's now a walk in the park here at the National Stadium for the Nutmeg Warriors, the defending champions. They've started off the tournament strongly, sending a major statement that they are here and they're looking to defend the title in the 2nd edition. Hodgin once again to Regis. Regis gets one on the line of the leg stump, turned onto the onside. Hodge has to do the fielding of his own bowling. So all the fielders, 3 fielders deep on the leg side for Regis, as the right-handed Fletcher is back on strike. Quite a few fielders right in the boundary. We have 3 fielders out on the leg side, deep backward square, mid-wicket, long on, and for Fletcher out on the offside, we have long off and the cover. 27 runs to go. 27 runs needed. Wide outside the off stump, and Fletcher gets some bat onto that, plays it down onto the offside, goes to Pascal, and Fletcher has to do some scampering. Excellent running there between the pair of Pascal and Shondell Regis. Sorry, Fletcher and Shondell Regis. Pascal had them scampering there with a rifle throw, but the batsmen, they were just quick enough to get through to complete 2 runs on that instance. It's 70 so far for the first wicket. 4.4 overs bowled. That's the flighted delivery there from Fletcher. He advances down and just casually plays it down to the fielder at long on. That is Caden Felix who does the fielding. So one more run to Fletcher. He moves on by 1 to 56, and the total currently 71 without loss. Another delivery on the line of the middle and leg stump, turned down towards Felix at long leg for long on for a single. So it's the end of the 5th over, halfway through the innings in terms of overs, and the Nutmeg Warriors, they are 72 without loss, scoring at a rate of 14.4 runs and over. Hodge today being severely dealt with by the Nutmeg Warriors. Hodge 2 overs going for 29 runs, and brings now into the attack the 2nd spinning option for the day. We'll see Richard Rogers, the leg spinner, and he'll be bowling first up to Shondell Regis. Regis, 10 of 8 deliveries. He's not called on to do much of the bowling, much of the scoring today. He's just there providing support as necessary to the captain, Andre Fletcher, and he has the best seat in the house to watch the show put on by Fletcher. Rogers is into Regis, shot delivery, turning away against, goes through to the keeper, taken behind by Smith, as you can hear the encouragement being bellowed to the fielders. Another shot delivery, this one is flatter and shorter, going across the left-handed Regis. He's not able to connect. Another dot delivery. Regis advances down the track to a flatter delivery push through there by Rogers, and he's able to bowl 3 consecutive deliveries, which has certainly been a rarity so far in this inning. Mind you though that the Warriors, they don't need to do anything foolish. They just need 23 off 27 balls, and that one beats the pushing bat there of Shondell Regis. You can see he has a little bit of difficulties facing up to the bowling of Rogers so far in that over. 4 deliveries, 4 dot balls. Rogers is in again. This time Shondell Regis is wrapped on the pads. Big appeal as the wait for the decision is given. Finally the hand is raised there by umpire man Warren. Shondell Regis got inside the line of that one, looking to hit over the onside. The ball hits him in line with the stumps as we look at the replay. Pitched just about the leg stump. Regis going across the line. An almighty heave there from Regis, and he goes LBW to Rogers for 10. The first wicket fall for the Nutmeg Warriors. They're 72 for 1 and brings now to the crease the blonde tipped here of Kieran Kotoy, who joins his captain in the middle to see if they can take the team across the line. 72 for 1 in over number 6. The Warriors, they require 23 from 25 balls. Hodge taking, that's Kotoy. Takes his mark. One left-hander replaces another left-hander, keeping the right left-handed combination out there. Rogers so far, he has bowled 5 deliveries, 5 dot balls, picked up a wicket. Final delivery of the 6th over is coming up, and Kotoy swings across the line. And for a moment there, Pascal, who was on the mid-wicket boundary, thought he was in business, but the wind carried that one sailing over his head for a 6. Kieran Kotoy is off the mark with a 6, and the Nutmeg Warriors, after 6 overs, scoring at 13 runs and over. They're 78 for 1, require only 17 runs to register the 2nd victory in as many matches in the tournament. At the end of the 6th over, the captain Smith, he has returned. He has asked his the veteran Neilon Pascal to return for a 2nd over. Pascal in his 1st over went for 16. Had a big shot there for LBW, which was turned down, and then Fletcher, he was able to hit him for a couple of touring 6s. 78 for 1 of 6 overs. To date in the innings, we've had 8 6s being scored, 6 off the bat of Andrew Fletcher, 1 each to Shondell Regis and Kieran Kotoy. Added to that 3 4s, so 8 6s and 3 4s in the innings is really the story behind the Nutmeg Warriors 78 for 1. The field being set there by Captain Smith, as we can see. Long leg, the fielder was shot in. He's pushed back to long leg on as deep backward square. Long on, 3 fielders out on the leg side. This one, Fletcher watches that one outside the off stump from Pascal. Signal wide by the umpire Roger Davis. So 1 more run to the total. That means that's 1 less run required by the Nutmeg Warriors. They now need only 16 runs. And we still have 24 deliveries to get them in. They still have 24 deliveries to get them in. It's the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 Tournament Season 2. Reminding you that the second match of the day coming up at 2:30 Eastern Caribbean time. We'll see the entry of the second place finishers in last season's tournament. Cinnamon Pacers. And that time Fletcher scoops that one over the offside, goes down to the field at deep backward point. He comes off the boundary and does the fielding. That is Doobie set to keep the batsman to a single. Now 80 for 1. So yes, Cinnamon Pacers, the second place finishers in last season, will be coming up against the 4th place finishers, Ginger Generals, in what shapes up to be an exciting encounter between the 2 teams from last season, both playing their first match in the tournament today, and both of them would have high hopes of getting off the mark in their first match. For the left-handed Kotoy, we see 3 fielders back on the offside and 2 back on the leg side. The 2 on the leg side out is long on and mid-wicket. Kavim Hodge is being called in from deep backward point, and the 3rd man is being sent back. Outside the off stump, a big booming shot there from Kotoy, looking to go over the top. The ball angling across him. Good bit of pace there from Pascal. Beat the attempt by Kotoy and keeps the batsman quiet. He's on 6 for 2. That time Kotoy connects Wells over the field at dip mid-wicket at 6 runs. Fine shot there from Kieran Kotoy. That one was within his arc. That one was on the line of the stumps, and Kotoy was able to hit well over the field at mid-wicket for 6. And Kotoy scoring in 6s. He's on 12, 2 6s scored off 3 deliveries. They're really making a small task here of the target being set by Nutmeg, by Bayleaf Blasters. The Warriors 86 for 1. They need 9 runs and all of 21 deliveries to get them. That time is a slower delivery from Pascal. Guided behind point down to the 3rd man region, wide 3rd man. The batsmen, they cross over for 2. So 2 more runs to Kotoy, he moves to 14. And the Nutmeg Warriors 88 for 1, smelling victory, which is just around the corner. Pascal for the 5th delivery in the over to bowl to Kotoy. Kotoy hits straight down the ground. It goes down. He doesn't connect well. Caden Felix moving off the boundary is not able to get under it. The ball bounces about 15 yards in front of him. So Kotoy intent is clear. Not able to connect on that one. He got a single in the end, but I'm sure he was looking for much more of that delivery. Final delivery to come in over number 8. Warriors 89 for 1. 6 runs to score. And if I am a betting man, I would not bet against Andre Fletcher, looking to finish the match of that next delivery. Fletcher is 57 of 23. 3 4s and 6 6s. Oh, Fletcher stepped way outside the off stump. Pascal saw him coming, slide it down the leg side, and he was not able to hit the stumps. Fletcher survives at the end of the over. Nutmeg Warriors 89 for 1. Fletcher is 17. Koto is 15. And that's the end of the day's work for Pascal with the ball. 2 overs, none for 27. Warriors, they need 6 runs, and they have 3 overs in which to get them. The task duties of bowling, the over number 8 is handed to Sherman Lewis, and he'll be looking to see if he can maybe snatch a wicket or 2 to prolong the advance of the Nutmeg Warriors to the target of 95. Sherman Lewis 1, none for 14 in his solitary over to date. Looking to see if he can get an important wicket there in that, get a figure in the wicket column. The wicket to fall, Richard Rogers. He had Shondell reach his LBW for 10 in the previous over from that end. That's one. Cutter hits over the top, down to the field at the deep cover boundary. That's Nikosi St. Hilaire who does the fielding and rifles in the return. So Cutter looking to finish off the match quickly. Was not able to connect well. Just got a single. Brings back Fletcher on strike. Cutter is 16. Fletcher is 57. 5 runs to get. 17 deliveries of which to get them. And it is looking more and more like a victory, second victory on the trot for the Nutmeg Warriors, the defending champions. They have started strong in this, the second edition of the Spice Isle T10 tournament. Here we go, Lewis once again. Fletcher hits through the line of through the offside, down to the fielder on the cover boundary, Jelani Robinson, who does the fielding there, rifles in the return. So another single, very rather pedestrian-like so far for the Nutmeg Warriors. The past 3 or 4 runs all coming off singles, reminding you that they would have scored at an electric pace earlier on, very quick pace. The power play, they would have racked up 60 runs inside of the power play. Now they are afforded the luxury of just taking their time to cross the finish line. This time Kotoy hits down the ground, down too long on for a single. So 1 more runs to Kotoy. He's on 17 of 7. He certainly enjoyed himself out there in the middle so far. Joining the captain Andrew Fletcher to steer the ship home across the finish line here in match number 2. Fletcher clips that one down the leg side into the boundary for 4. 4 more runs to Andre Fletcher, and that is victory now for the Nutmeg Warriors. Andre Fletcher finishes on 58. Andre Fletcher finishes on 62, and the Nutmeg Warriors 96 for 1 was able to quite comfortably register their second victory in the tournament, this time by 9 wickets with 14 deliveries to spare. Nutmeg Warriors 2-2, and they now sit pretty at the top of the table. Andre Fletcher, the 62, was the architect of a fine batting performance from the Nutmeg Warriors, defeating the Bayleaf Blasters in this matchup of the victors from day 1. So Nutmeg Warriors finishing on 96 for 1. Andre Fletcher 62. Shondell reaches LBW to Richard Rogers for 10. Kieran Kotoy not out for 17. the lone wicket taker for the Blasters, Richard Rogers, 1 for 6 in his single over. So victory to the Nutmeg Warriors by 9 wickets, and they enjoy the success here in the third match of the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 tournament. Reminding you that this is just the first match of 2 here on day 2 of the Spice Island T10 tournament. Coming up at 2:30 this afternoon, just in about an hour's time, will be the Bayleaf, will be the Cinnamon Pacers versus the Clove Challengers. So do join us for then, wherever you are. If you just need an evening snack or an afternoon lunch, do enjoy the break, and we'll see you in just about 50-minute time for the second match on day 2 of the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 tournament.
Live from the stadium that delivered that memorable and emphatic win to the West Indies, Grenada, comes the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 2.0 cricket competition. 30 matches, 14 days of exciting T10 cricket action. 6 teams, only one will be champions. See the likes of the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher, Devon Smith, international players Kesrick Williams, Alec Atenes, and more. Support your team. Love the game. Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 2.0 cricket competition, April 5th to the 18th, Grenada National Stadium. Pure spice of the Caribbean.
Have you ever seen a jab cooking oil down and Tanya log in the same pot? Neither have we until now, but we guarantee there is a whole lot more amazing things to see on your next trip to Grenada. And if you encourage someone to book an adventure to our island paradise, then you can be one of the winners of special prizes compliments the 473 Connect program by the Grenada Tourism Authority. Sign up at experts.puregrenada.com/473connect.
Deeply rooted in our rich ancestral traditions. Spice Mass, the return, a celebration of life.
Welcome to Spice Mass 2022. Reviving the spirit of our ancestors through our traditional mass. Jab, the unique celebration of freedom, drenched in black. Feel the power. The rejuvenating sound of pan. A display of colors in fancy mass. And the rebirth of calypso and soca music.
The biggest and safest summer festival in the region, August 8th and 9th. Let's go to Grenada for Spice Mass. Call your booking agents and get your tickets today.
I too have felt the impact of this pandemic and miss the days of being able to socialize with the freedom we once had. But it is in these times that we must come together to fight as one people through getting vaccinated and doing what's right. I am Aruna Neptune and I am fully vaccinated. Play your part. Keep yourselves, your loved ones, and your community protected. Spice Mass. Here we come. It's our time again.